Hey everybody, Julie here from Mostly Caffeinated. I thought I would do a teensy bit of a life update and kind of run you through a little bit of my holiday prep stuff as well because it's the beginning of November. And yeah, I've got a lot to share. If you're noticing that my sound quality is different, but you can see this little guy over here, I got a microphone to plug into my computer instead of just using my webcam microphone, and it has to be apparently this close to my face. So if you're seeing that in my videos, sorry, but that's what you get. Anyway, so I hinted in my last video, I don't even remember what I was talking about, but I said things were crazy because of something that I would tell you in an upcoming video. So here's the video, here's the crazy. If you've been around my channel for a while, if you were here, let's say 2.5 years ago, you've heard me say this before, but surprise, we're having another child. This is our fourth baby, fifth child. Our oldest son is adopted. And it was quite a surprise, if you will. Our daughter was kind of a surprise in a way, but this is much more of a surprise. This is like we had gotten rid of the baby things. Surprise. So that's where I'm at, and I was pretty under the weather for the whole first trimester. I don't know, 18 weeks or something now. So I didn't really do anything in August or September. And I kind of just get my routine back in October. But October is when things start to get crazy around here. It's when we're prepping for Halloween, we're prepping for birthdays. A lot of my family's birthdays fall at the beginning of November. It's when I'm starting to think about Christmas gifts and Thanksgiving and all that kind of stuff. So, I haven't been around much. I've not been on my blog at all. I've been on YouTube maybe twice. I've done my writing projects for the other things that I write for. I've gotten those done barely. But that's about it. I have just barely gotten back into the swing of cleaning and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. I was, transitioning to a whole different stage of life. I was just going to have school-age kids, and that's where it was going to be. But nope, I guess not. We're not done with the baby rearing just yet. Anyway, so this kid 5 is due towards the end of March. So there might be some, baby maternity type updates going on in between now and then. I think more so it's going to get philosophical. I've sort of talked, month to month or trimester to trimester before about pregnancy, kind of natural pregnancies, simplifying your life, that type of thing. But this is more of almost an existential thing. I thought I was in one place and it turns out I'm in a different place, and how we're kind of all, I don't know, taking a step back and going back to that part of our life again for a fifth time. So there is that. I think I might talk a little bit about kind of simple baby stuff. I'm not having to start completely over. I mean, my daughter is only 1.5, so we still have a crib and a changing table and that kind of thing. But we did get rid of a number of toys, other baby equipment. I had thought I had packed away all my nursing clothes. I was ready to give them to Goodwill. I was very, very close to giving all that stuff to Goodwill. I guess I'm glad I didn't. But it's sort of a different angle, I guess, this time. It was not expected at all in any way. So that, I don't know, and lends a whole new lens to the thing. But enough about that. Let's talk about holiday prep, shall we? 4.5 minutes into the video. Let's talk about holiday prep. Now, the biggest player, if you will, in my holiday prep is my Happy Planner, which right now looks a fright. Okay, there's stuff sticking out of it. It's insane. But every year I make a tab. I use I don't know if you can see this. My checklist ruler came in a pack of 2, so I used the other one. And it's just got a Christmassy sticker at the top, so I know it's the Christmas one. And I put that in the beginning of November. And following that, there is a list. Well, here. I think I can show you. I think I can show you this. Just in case my friends and family are watching. But I keep a list of everybody that I normally buy gifts for. That's here. And I pencil in ideas. And then I have this free print off for me and my big ideas of things I've actually purchased. I put the person's name, what I've purchased, and like that I purchased it makes a check mark. When it arrives at my house, because a lot of these things come in the mail, I make another check mark. And then when I actually wrap it, I make a final check mark. So I know what I've got done, who I've got gifts for, what might still be missing, that kind of thing. After that, hang on, there's some names here too. I have a sheet about Friendsgiving. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but I keep my menu from year to year. I keep a count of things. I keep amounts and everything there. I have a similar sheet for Christmas. Any of the parties we go to, the little vacation we sometimes go on, that stuff's all written down there. So that's kind of how I keep track. And it's always in my Happy Planner at the beginning of November, between, the October and November page. So every year, no matter when it is in the year, if I think of something, I can skip to that tab quick and put it in. I don't have to hope I remember until Christmas. If I come up with a gift idea for my kids in June, I run to that tab and I put it in. If I think, find a cool recipe that I want to try out for Christmas or Friendsgiving, I just quick go put it in the tab. I don't wait around. So by the time it actually turns the beginning of November, I have a fair amount of things there. And I've talked about this in a number of places. I even wrote this in a magazine article, but I make the same foods every year. So our unwrapping gifts as a family, which doesn't happen on Christmas Eve, it happens early. But just the 6, soon to be 7 of us, I make the same foods every year. We do the same thing. I make the same food to take to my in-laws' potluck every year. I make the same cookies and candy to take to my parents and my in-laws for Christmas Day every year. I bring the same snacks to our little vacation we take with our adult friends every year. I make the same Friendsgiving menu every year. It's once a year. Nobody's going to notice I'm doing the same thing. And it slots in well with everybody else. All these other potluck activities, I know I'm not duplicating anything anybody else is making because I bring the same thing every year. I don't have to look for new recipes. I don't have to put a whole lot of thought into my grocery lists because I get the same things every year. Now, this Friendsgiving thing, this we started last year, but it's turning into an annual tradition. Sometime in November or December, we have over a bunch of our friends and we throw kind of a Thanksgiving meal. And this was actually inspired not by the trend of doing it, but because my husband is a principal, and as a principal in our school district, he receives a free turkey from a local nonprofit group, which is lovely, but the 6 of us are not going to cook and eat a 20-pound turkey. So, sorry, my dog is barking. So last year he gets this turkey, and I'm like, what on earth am I going to do with a 20-pound turkey? Because, our mothers want to make their own turkey. They don't want me to bring a turkey. And I was just like, what do I do with this? And it comes frozen, so it's like a 3-day thing of thawing the turkey, making the turkey. It's not like it's a quick thing. And I came up with, maybe we should have some friends over. Maybe we should have a Thanksgiving dinner with our friends. And we're like, our friends don't even know each other. But we really thought about the personalities of our friends, and we decided that they would get along pretty well. So we invited, our best good friends from college, the ones with a bunch of kids. We mix our families together all the time. We invited them. Someone my husband works with that we're quite good friends with, we invited them. Some friends from the camp that we go to, we invited them. The people that live within an hour or so of our house, but who we've met in all different places and for all different reasons. We got them all together in our house with our Passilla kids and our friends' Passilla kids. We put the leaves in the dining room table. I have a 10-foot long dining room table, sits 16 people. I had a little kid table for the kids. And I made the turkey and the stuffing and I think maybe one thing that wasn't, inside the pan with the turkey. But I potlucked everything else out to everyone else. Sorry, I just stared at you for a second. One of my kids just walked in and I didn't know he was awake from his nap, so there we are. Anyway, see, there he is. So we have a big old sit-down meal, but I potluck out almost all the dishes. And I ask people to bring things by category. So a couple of my friends I ask to bring a dessert, and I tell them how many people are going to be here. One of my friends I ask to bring some kind of potato. One of them I ask to bring a non-potato side. One of them I ask to bring some kind of bread or roll or biscuit. So I leave it up to them. Some of them bring store-bought, some of them make their own, some of them bring part of something else that they had already made. Fine. Something easy for them to bring or something that they like to make from that category. Because it doesn't matter. It's going to go together as long as we have these different kinds of foods. It's not like it's not going to go with supper. And so it's not that much work for me other than like the thawing and the sticking the turkey in the oven. I just, clean my house a little bit. I throw out some very simple decorations. I can't fit a tablecloth on my 10-foot long table, so we don't use one. I do have kind of a set of party dishes that I thrifted some mismatched wine glasses and tumblers and things like that. I have mismatched silverware, but it's all silver, so it doesn't matter. And I have my grandma's china set that I get out for Friendsgiving, and I have a very simple centerpiece, and that's it. Because the table's full of food anyway, we don't have space for a whole lot of decorations. I don't do a lot of fall decor. But everybody comes over, we set up, some hors d'oeuvres and things on the island here while people are kind of trickling in. And then we all sit down to eat, and we have wine, and we have sparkling cider, and we just have a great time. So I'm looking forward to doing it again this year if I can nail down a date. It's kind of hard to get a date when we're all available, but I'm working on it. And when I'm ready, my menu is already set. I already know how much I made, how many bottles of wine I bought, how many bottles of cider I bought, how long it took me to set up and things, because I wrote that all down last year. And same thing for Christmas. I have it all pre-written down. And then we're talking gifts. I started my gift buying earlier than usual this year. I usually try to start in October, and I'm not really successful. But I started straight up at the beginning of October, picking up things that I already knew I wanted for mostly my kids because that's the easiest. But also a few gifts for nieces and nephews, some of which were spontaneous and some I thought out. I placed a book order for the school library, and as long as I was doing that, I included some books to give my nieces and nephews because I always give a book. I spontaneously found a clothing item for one of my nephews, so I picked that up right away and just stashed it where I stash my gifts, which I can't talk about because one of my kids is standing here with me. What actually hung me up the longest this year was wrapping paper. Usually I go to Hobby Lobby and I get the really big rolls of wrapping paper. And for some reason, Hobby Lobby's wrapping paper this year is not doing it for me. It's very bright green and red, very Christmas kind of juvenile colors. And I like to keep my wrapping a little more adult looking, which is actually twofold. That's the aesthetic that I like, but I also buy not Christmas specific wrapping paper. Last year, my wrapping paper was kind of gray and white wood tone, and I used red ribbons. One year I did craft paper with colored decorations, colored ribbons. This year I have a dark red, kind of plain, and then a plaid. I think it's white and burgundy and dark green plaid. Because I use the same roll of wrapping paper all year. What I don't use up for Christmas gets used to wrap birthday gifts for the rest of the year. So if it's not Christmas specific, that's cool. I can use this dark red all year long. I use the wood grain all year long, craft paper all year long. And I don't have to buy 2 wrapping papers that way. And I use it up every year. It ends up, being consumed instead of having half rolls of wrapping paper lying all over the place. But I couldn't find any at Hobby Lobby like I usually do. So I had to wait until Walmart put out their full selection of wrapping paper. And then I was able to buy my 2 rolls and squirrel them away so I can get started with wrapping. I bought my daughter's big gift, which is a dollhouse, a plastic dollhouse suitable for toddlers, off of Facebook Marketplace. And I had 3 false starts of transactions that didn't go through. But I finally picked it up yesterday, so that's taken care of. We know what we're getting the boys, we just haven't actually gotten their gift yet. But I've got, I've got all my ideas written down. I have probably a third of our extended family's gifts already purchased, and it's the beginning of November. I am hopeful, depending on when my orders from Zulily come in, I'm hopeful that I have all the presents in my home at the end of November. That's my goal. Then I can spend December wrapping or tying up loose ends or making cookies and making candy and putting it in the freezer. And I don't have to worry about presents because that is not the point of Christmas. It's enjoyable, and I enjoy giving gifts and picking them out. I even enjoy wrapping them to some extent. But I don't want that to consume my whole month of December. I'd rather get it done in November, and then December I can listen to music, decorate the tree, bake, go to my kids' different Christmas concerts and programs, and not have to think about the presents part. Because mentally, that's the part I don't want to think about. It's fun to do, but I'd rather relish in other parts of the season. So that's where I'm at. I haven't started music yet, but if you can't tell by the blinding light coming in the windows and the scarf, it has snowed here several times already, so it's feeling very Christmassy, even though it's the beginning of November. I haven't turned the music on. I've been restraining myself, but I'm not sure how much longer that's going to keep up. Last year, I don't know if I wrote a blog post about this, or if I recorded a video, or what I did, but I started my Christmas music way earlier than usual because I was feeling like I was going to get lost. Like I wasn't going to appreciate the season emotionally like I usually do because of all my kids. And now it turns out I just have even more kids. So we'll probably start soon. You can see my chalkboard art back here as my son just opened the pantry. It's my Thanksgiving chalkboard art. In all things, give thanks, a Bible passage. No, that is not my design. I always get my chalkboard designs off Pinterest and just copy them onto my chalkboard door. I am pretty good at replicating things. I am not super creative when it comes to lettering and drawing. I'm pretty creative at crafts, but that's not a craft. So I always copy those, not my originals. He's just tutting around back there getting a snack. He's so cute. His birthday is really soon. It's going to be 4. I don't know how that happened. But right now he's admiring his treat, his birthday treat. But anyway, so that's where I'm at right now. I've had a lot of projects, other than things I talk about here, projects for my various nonprofits and groups that I'm in and library projects and stuff like that I don't usually get into. But I've been managing to make it to book club once a month. I've been managing to read the book most of the time. Everybody is clothed and fed, and right now the house is pretty clean. It was not for a long time, but we're getting back into the swing of things here. Hopefully I can record some more videos during the holiday season, whether they're holiday related or pregnancy related or, what have you, what I might be talking about. But let me know about the sound quality. It sounds okay on my end. I have my, output set to what I usually set it to watch YouTube videos. So let me know how it sounds to you coming out of your speakers at the volume you usually use for YouTube videos. And I think that's about it for today. I just wanted to let you know about this surprise baby that's been keeping me off the internet for a while. And, my holiday prep, my keeping my lists all year long, same recipes all the time, same events all the time, how I'm trying to stay organized and on top of things. If you have any more tips for that kind of thing for other people, leave them down below for sure. We'll see you around. Bye.